Really special feature. I actually love that the Phillies do this with their broadcast. They put the broadcast crew, Tom McCarthy and company, John Kruk, Ben Davis, Ruben Amaro Jr., they put them out there in the field. We all know the very famous play now with Tom McCarthy catching that home run ball and then throwing it back onto the field when the broadcast crew was in center field a few years back. That was great. Watching them out there interact with the players, interact with the fans, they always show the concessions, and I'm always thinking, well, for 4 people, that's this much money. But I think it's a great broadcast. And last night, they were joined by Tyrese Maxey. I have no doubt that I don't care if this was something that was planned months ago where Tyrese Maxey was going to make an appearance, and that's great. This, I felt like, even if it had nothing to do with it, this was a flex. No other way to look at it. Tyrese Maxey showing up during the broadcast last night, I was like, I ain't going anywhere. He didn't say this, but I'm just saying his presence, this is what I was thinking. Tyrese Maxey being there was like, yeah, you're not trading me for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, you saw the news earlier in the day, staying in Brooklyn. Brooklyn called him on his BS. Kevin Durant's like, all right, I'll play in Cleveland. Or play in Brooklyn. You got me. Sorry. And that was the end of it. So that's where the parties are right now. The Nets and Kevin Durant's company, they got to smooth things over a little bit. And Kevin Durant's going to be playing with Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. So we'll watch the fireworks when the season starts. But Maxey shows up. His name had been thrown out there a number of times. We've discussed it a number of times on this show that he was going to be going to the Nets. If Kevin Durant is with the Sixers, that means that Maxey would have to be with the Nets. Not the case. No trades going on. Tyrese Maxey doesn't have to think about that anymore. He can continue to work his ass off when it comes to getting better at the sport of basketball. Gave a lot of credit to the Phillies fans, to the Philadelphia fans in general. Talked about how he's more or less become a member of the Philadelphia fan base now by going to Eagles games, going to the Flyers games, and coming to Phillies games as well, and just being a part of the fan base and just experiencing them. Anything else from that interview that jumped out to me? If there's anything else that jumped out, it's how much of a big basketball fan John Kruk is. And he was talking about how he was recruited to play in college, ended up playing baseball because they had like a free trip to Florida, essentially. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll play baseball, sure." And like, wow, what a gift to be that kind of athlete. But yeah, okay. And him and Maxey are they're talking ball. And Tom McCarthy just like took a step back, and it was just like, listen to this. This is great. But it was also it really impressive and really awesome to see the way this fan base here in Philadelphia has taken to Tyrese Maxey. And how the two have really taken to each other. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it's difficult to get this good a start in a fan base. Like, first off, Tyrese Maxey was a steal in that draft. We all know it. If you have a full-blown NCAA tournament that year, pandemic year, the midst of the pandemic, then I don't think Tyrese Maxey is going out of the top 10. I don't even think he's going out of the top 3. But he did, and he went to the Sixers. Then for him to come in and play the way he did 2 years ago in the playoffs during his rookie year, then all the drama to hit the fan with Ben Simmons, and Tyrese Maxey gets this golden opportunity to be the starting point guard of the Philadelphia 76ers. Then Joel Embiid misses a handful of games with COVID. Tyrese Maxey takes over and becomes the leader on the team during that period. On the court, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about emotional stuff. I'm talking about he steps up. He's dropping 30-point games. He is taking full advantage of the opportunity presented to him by the circumstances. Joel Embiid comes back. Those two learn how to play with one another. Tyrese Maxey then looks like a guy that could be an all-star. James Harden comes here. Those two have a good relationship. And then everything else after that is just roses, other than the end, which is getting bounced out in the second round of the playoffs again. But Tyrese Maxey has this red carpet of opportunity rolled out in front of him. And you see him continuously take giant steps down that red carpet. Now, what's at the end of that? Is it a championship? Is it an all-star appearance? What is it? But right now, we are at just the beginning. And with the Kevin Durant news going away, and that, or not going away, but settled at least with him staying with the Nets, Tyrese Maxey being at the start of that red carpet right now, that is going to be a long, beautiful ride. Long, beautiful walk down the red carpet. With how it started, I'm looking forward to how it ends. But I hope that's not a That's not for a long, long time, because I think this guy has a lot to offer the city of Philadelphia, both on the court as a guy that could be a great basketball player and as a guy that just seems relatable to the fan base. A guy that wants to work his ass off, and a guy that, as I've described before, just seems like a damn sweetheart is what he seems like. This could be the beginning of something amazing. And no pun intended with him being at the baseball game last night, but it's a absolute home run if he is able to continuously get better and really reach his potential and help this Sixers squad in the upcoming season reach their full potential, which is not a second-round exit. It's an NBA championship. That is the full potential of this squad.